This morning I'm going to kind of show you how to make your own homemade airlock. I'm attempting to make cider, but I don't have an extra airlock. So I've seen a couple videos online. This is kind of my own method of making one. Pill bottle seems pretty common for a lot of people to use. I found this tube. This is off of solder. And then you'll need a pen or some sort of clear tube, just smaller than your pill bottle and smaller than the internal diameter of the clear tube there. And then you'll need a couple of drill bits. This one is, I think, a 5/16 bit and then an 1/8 inch bit. And then you also, of course, need a drill. And then I would also suggest some hot glue from a hot glue gun or 2-part epoxy or something similar to that nature. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the center of the bottom of this pill bottle, the same size as the outside diameter of this pen. This I'm going to use the 5/16 inch bit for. It's approximately the same size if you kind of look at it. And then what we'll do is we'll stick this pen into the bottom and we'll super glue it or hot glue. And then we'll stick this clear tube over the top of the pen into the top. We'll probably have to cut this down just a little bit. And I'll actually glue it to the top of the lid here so it stays in place. So there's my first mistake. If you look, it kind of cracked out the whole side of things, so I'm gonna have to get another pill bottle or something. And apparently you got to drill really slow and with almost no pressure. Here goes attempt 2. I'm actually going to start with the smaller drill bit this time, try to prevent that cracking, and work my way up to the 5/16. There's a small drill bit. I'm now going to get a medium-sized drill bit. It's still smaller than the 5/16, but yet not quite as small as the 8. Okay, there's the medium-sized drill. Now we'll step it up to the 5/16 bit. Drill. Again, it kind of cracked it out, but I think we'll make it work. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to empty this pen out of the ink and then cut it down to length so it's not quite so long. I'm just going to take it out there and just take a knife. We'll cut it down here. So it's about that long there. Then you can stick it through your pill bottle bottom. So it's about halfway up the pill bottle there. Kind of see in there. And then we'll silicone or hot glue the bottom of here so it's liquid tight. So then the next thing we do is we want to put this over that pen as such, but we only want it about as long as a 1/4 inch from the bottom of the pill bottle or so when it's hitting the top of the lid. So we need to cut off about a 1/2 inch or so. Okay, now I've got this cut, so then it'll slide right over the pen, and then when you put the lid on, I don't know how well you can see that, I'll glue it to the top of the lid, but there's about a 1/4 inch gap at the bottom. That way you'll fill it with water, the air will come up and the CO2 will escape, but oxygen can't flow backward. So right now I will go take a hot glue gun and I'm gonna glue this to the center of this cap here. And I'm gonna hot glue both inside this tube here and outside the tube to make it an airtight seal. Now you can see that I've got the straw glued into the bottom of the pill bottle. I've hot glued all around the bottom and also on the inside to make it watertight, since you're gonna have water sitting there. And then I've also glued this clear tube to the cap here. That way, when you put them together, it'll go in there like that. And that way that'll set up, and then you'll fill it with water and it can escape but can't come back. You also want to drill a small hole in the top of the cap. Don't put it in the center there, I'll put one off to the side just to let the gases escape from the lid, because the lid is airtight. But there is a completed homemade airlock. All it's left to do is put it in the stopper and put it and start fermenting.